Welcome to another episode of Free Time Builds. Previously, we made a beer carrier, so today we're going to cover all the wine enthusiasts or winos out there. We're going to make a carrier for our wine. And what do we do when we have our wine? We'll need glasses. So this is a great carrier because I saw it as a spot for the wine, and it has side wings for the glasses. Now looking at the description, it gave measurements of 3.5, which is obviously for the bottom of the bottle, and then a measurement of 12 by 14, and it didn't really specify which is which. Now looking at the bottle, we see it measures 12 inches, so we'll make our heights 14 inches, so the bottle can see all the way in, and then we'll do our combined sides to total 12 inches. So the total material we'll need for this is a little over 40 some odd inches, and I've measured this board, approximately 44 inches, so this free scrap board is going to work and then turn into a beautiful project as a wine carrier for somebody to enjoy for years to come. All right, here at the miter saw, as always, first because it's scrap wood, we're just going to square up the edges. Let that come to a stop. We're going to square up the other edge. Take just a little bit off. Now, there's two ways I can approach this because, like I said, we need a 3.5 base. And you see this wood here, more than 3.5. It measures actually 4 1/4. So we're going to have to rip this down. So you can either rip it down as one board, or you can cut the sections of 2 14s and a 12 and then rip them down. I think I'll do the cut the sections down and rip them because I find smaller sections I can keep consistent through when ripping. So our first 14. Okay, so here are our table saw, and how do we actually know we need a 3.5 base? Well, one, I measured it, and two, I set this to 3.5. If I was to say put this through here, there's plenty of clearance, so we'll have room on the bottom. So okay. All right, now that we have our two sides cut down, right, we're going to go like that with our 3.5 bottom. We're going to do some angles on the top for some extra detail. Then before we put this all together, I'm going to drill a hole here for the handle because it really is a rope or cloth material handle is much easier. We have a hard rigid handle that can't pivot. Sliding the bottle in dead center like that would be very difficult. So we're definitely going to have to get some rope or some sort of cordage and use that. All right, so the bottom, we already have this set to 3.5. So we're going to go ahead, take our other piece, and cut that 3.5. Okay, so now that we have our bottom piece and our sides, let's just check and make sure we're not going to have a hard time getting a bottle in. Space to move in and out. See, good, okay, good. First, we're going to be cutting some bars to put on the sides so it doesn't fall out the side. Now we have our two sides here, both 14 inches. The bottom is 3.5 inches. And put a bottle down here. So now we have to figure out how to account for the bottom of our wine glasses. So we have this here. Now, of course, don't just account for the bottom because you have to account for the widest part, and the widest part will be the part here. So we're about right here because you don't want to go all the way in. We're about here. Let's see how long that is. Again, we'll need two of these. Cut them. We're going to attach them to our sides. So they'll come out of the side like that. With the channel cut in, we'll slide the glass in like that. So we have this here. And let's measure that from the end. That comes out to about 3 and about a half. about 3.5. So again, this is a total of 12. It's set on the side, so we'll do 3 3/4 for each one of these. Make sure that's wide enough. 3 3/4. Yeah, so that should be plenty wide enough to slide in. Good. All right, so I'll cut these at 3 3/4. So let's get to the saw and let's get cutting. All our important pieces cut. We need to find the center of our wing pieces here. It's 3.5 and 3.5. So that should be 1.75. So let's slide down to 1.75. Now what I did is, because just visually looking at these, 3.5, 3.75, not much difference. I just held these up real quick. I just made a quick mark as to which way the proper side was. This going to go against it. I put it right here. Okay, that lines up. This is too wide, so that's not it. I made a quick little eyeball center mark where I'm going to cut out anywhere. I could erase it and clean that up. So we have our center here. Okay, so here at the band side, we're going to be using this to cut out our little tracks or slots for the stems. I don't usually use a guide, but because I want to get nice and straight cuts, I'm going to be using we are. Let's do a final fit, then we can start putting everything together, and then we can take it and we can stain it and make it beautiful and get it ready. Of course, before we get and do that, we're just going to do a final fit, make sure everything matches up. We're going to drill our holes. I suggest having these one on top of the other so exactly centered. And then however you want to do it, if you want a circular the top, or if you just want to do some angles, which I'll probably do, the choice is yours. If you want to leave it square, that's fine too. So let's just rough fit everything and see how we do. We have our bottle with room to slide in and out. Excellent. Good. We have our sides. We're going to attach these right there and right there. Okay. Ooh. I'm going to put these sides facing up because I think these have the nicer grain pattern going this way. Now we're going to see how our glasses do. We have one glass. Good. It's going to fall right there. It's going to have room so it's not hitting the side. Good. Now let's check the other one. It should be exactly the same. Good. Again, hit the side, so we'll sit right there. Or it can lean if it needs to, but we're good. So, excellent. The next thing we're going to do, okay, so we're going to drill the hole center for our rope handle. And we're also going to cut some angles. So we'll measure from center, which is 1.75. We'll measure down an inch. Or we'll go an inch in and an inch in, and we'll just cut some little angles on the side to give it detail. If you want to round it or leave it square, that's fine. So we have all the basic pieces and our scraps here. We're going to use these to make our bars for the sides to hold it. In fact, I cut these. We have some nice looking grain right here, so definitely use that as one of the bars on the side. And some, yep, some more nice looking grain pattern here for the rest of the bars. Okay, so we have all the pieces. Let's finish up our final details, then we can build it. Put it together. I recommend staining it first. Much easier to stain it and then assemble it, or you can assemble it and then stain it. Really, the choice is yours. I'm probably gonna stain it first after I get everything together. So let's drill our hole for the handle. So for that, we'll probably go Okay, so we're at the point where you can really start to see the wine carrier now that it's almost finished. Just need some stain and some fabric, some glue, and or nails, however you want to finish securing it. But we see we have our channel for our wine bottle, and we have our side wings for our glasses. And again, we have good spacing on these because they can go there and they're not going to hit. They have plenty of room on the sides. So now we just need to do our cross pieces, get some rope or whatever material you want for the top, and then we're going to stain it, put it together, and we'll be done. So let's get started on that. Now for our side pieces, it's very important to make sure that these are spaced properly because we don't have a top piece to hold the spacing on this, so our side pieces are going to fill in that position and do that for us. We need to make sure everything is equal. So first thing we're gonna do is measure. We're gonna need 4 total of these. We're gonna get 1. We're gonna mark it. Always cut past your cut line, so now we know exactly how much we need, and we need 4 of these cut at 5 inches. Okay, time for our final cut. Again, this is totally a personal choice. You can leave them square on top, nice flush like that. If you want to round them, you can round them. I personally want to do some angles. So to do that, I'm going to find my center point. Okay, now that we've got all our pieces measured, cut, stained, sanded, let's work on assembly. Now, first thing we're going to want to do is we're going to want to attach our outside pieces to hold our wine glasses. Because if we put the bottom together first, right, and then we try to attach these, you're going to find it's going to be very difficult to get glue or some nails in there. So I suggest that you connect these first and connect this to the bottom. We're going to work from the outside in and then back outside for the outside slats.